Obviously, I only have 2 eyeballs, at least today. Hi everyone, welcome back to Pavonine Studios Beauty and Art. If you're new here, my name is Amy, and today I'm excited to play with some new eyeshadows that I got in the mail yesterday. I placed an order with JD Glow Cosmetics and I picked up a number of their Galaxy shadows and a couple of the Metallon, I think is how you say it, shadows. And so I want to play with those. This is a few of the shades that I picked up. These are all Galaxy shadows. And I have a few more in my palette where I have my Cliona shadows because I obviously couldn't fit them all in there. So these are all the Metallon shadows that I picked up, these 3 right here. And the other ones are the Cliona shadows. But these are really pretty, so I want to play with them today. They are all shimmers and glitters, metallics, that kind of thing. So I am going to need to bring in a palette that's got some mattes and such in it, and I think I'm just going to use the Carnival 3 palette because it's one of my newest palettes and it's got a lot of colors in it, and I don't even know what I'm going to do today, but I definitely wanted to play with those. I also picked up some of the liquid multichromes that they have, and these are all super pretty as well. And I can tell you, I swatched 2 of these on my hand yesterday and they did not budge. I had a hell of a time getting them off my hand, and in fact I still have a few little remnants of it, but this is what they look like. Super pretty. I picked up the shades Urgent, No Way, Alot, and Seaweed. And I also picked up a liquid liner that they had, and this is the shade Geometrix. And this also stays really well, although it's not the concrete that the other ones are. So this is a really pretty color too. And they have a few, at least a couple more of these in stock now. When I bought them, this was the only one they had, so that's the one I got. Obviously, I only have 2 eyeballs, at least today, and so I can't put everything on my face. I'm gonna give it my all and try to put as many things on my face as I can, or on my eyes as I can. Like I say, I think I'm going to bring the mattes from the Carnival 3 palette in, and this is what that looks like. It's a nice palette. It's a really nice palette. I've been enjoying playing with it as well. And in fact, I have a video where I try this out for the first time. I'll try to remember to link it above. I might also pull in some colors from the Melt Cosmetics Rest Stack, mostly because it, ooh, sorry, didn't mean to blind you there. Mostly because it has this nice dark brown in it. And like I say, I think I want to do kind of a brown blue thing with a pop of that one orange in the Metallon color. We'll talk about that when I get to it. So first I'm going to prime my eyes with the Anastasia Primer because it's got some tint to it, and I want everything that I put on my eyes to really pop. I really do hope that Anastasia brings out some more shades of the eye primer, because this is not going to be for everybody, of course. We are going to dive into, I think I'm going to go ahead and do some colors from that Rust palette just to kind of get going, I think. Let me zoom you in. Okay, I'm going to mix the colors Antique and Erode from the Melt palette. So this is the peachy color and the sort of mustardy color. We're just going to kind of pop that into the crease as a transition shade. Take a little bit of that Erode shade, that's the more yellowy one, and just kind of put that directly in the crease. Okay, so I'm going to take the shade The Deep from the Carnival palette, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner here. And probably I will deepen this up with one of those browns from the Melt palette. And I'm just going to bring that in a little bit into that upper crease area. Okay, I'm just going to clean off that brush and use the same brush, and I'm going to go into that darkest brown in the Melt palette and just pop that on the very outer corner here. I don't necessarily want to cover up any of that blue or too much of that blue. I just want to deepen that outer corner a little bit. So I think I'm going to go in with one of those liquid multichromes, and then I think I'm going to pull in this shade right here. And then I will take one of those two glittery shades and figure out somewhere to put it. This one is Urgent. Maybe I'll go in with that one because it's got like a green, it's like a copper, green, blue shift, I think. Best that I can tell just looking in the bottle here. Let me go ahead and just swatch a little bit of this for you so you can kind of see. These do take a minute to set down. They do have a bit of a solvent-y kind of scent to them. But it does dissipate with time as it dries. I expect that that is the thing that keeps them on so well. So I'm just gonna grab a flat shader brush and put this on with that just to have a little bit more control. The doe foot of course works fine, but I don't have a lot of lid space to work with, so I like to have a little bit of control. I totally could have cut my crease a little bit with some more primer just to have a little bit cleaner edge, but I wasn't sure if I wanted a super clean edge. One thing I noticed when I swatched this on the back of my hand was that it's not a super like shiny foiled kind of shadow. It's still multichrome, but it's almost kind of a satin matte kind of effect, which I thought was kind of interesting. But if you want something that's super foiled, shiny, metallic like that, I'm feeling that these are probably not, they're probably not that. And I am bringing it up above my crease so that I can hopefully prevent any transfer that might happen, although with these I wouldn't expect that. Texture of this is pretty interesting. I'm just gonna see if I can layer this a little bit. Yeah, that seems to work okay to layer it a little bit. So hopefully you can see what I mean by it not looking super shiny metallic and yet still having that multichrome effect. Okay, while that is still just the tiniest bit damp, I am going to take a little tiny brush. So I'm going to pick up the orange shade called Autumn. This is one of the Metallon shadows. Oh. Oh, that's pretty. And I'm just going to put that on the inner third or so. I'm going to clean off. Wow, that was delicious. And I'm just going to kind of pat, swipe a little bit right there where those two meet. And I can still feel that that is a little bit sticky, that liquid multichrome. So I feel like that will be actually a really good thing. I know this is about the JD Glow colors, but just because I want to, I'm going to pick up on a little tiny pointed brush some of the Cleona shadow in the color Crown Glass, and I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm just going to kind of blend this outer edge a little bit. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that brush and I'm going to go into the shade Khaki from the Carnival palette, and I'm going to put that right there. Not up onto the brow bone, just onto the outer edge of that blue. I'm going to take a small brush and I'm going to go into that dark blue and just kind of go into that outer corner again. Not my best work, but I think it will all come together when I put on my liner and my lashes and all that jazz. I'm going to go ahead and clean up a little bit under my eyes, just kind of sharpen things up. Okay, the way I see it, I have three options from the Galaxy shadows to go kind of over everything, sort of, because these, I feel like these, not topper shades exactly, they're not that, but I've got that silvery blue one, the sort of blue purple one, and then I've got the orange one. And you know, I think I'm going to just go over it with the orange one. And I'm not going to go crazy with this, but I just want to add a little bit of sparkle to the center of my lid. So far I like these shadows. This is just the first time I've played with them, and I'm not loving my look, but that's all right. Not every look has to be a complete success. I'm not going anywhere today. It's only makeup. It washes off. Thank goodness sometimes, right? And I am not going to use the liquid liner that I bought only because it's not the right color. But you can bet that that will definitely show up in some looks. I will say that there was like virtually no fallout from anything today, so that makes me happy. Okay, I am going to go put on the rest of my makeup. I'm going to be filming a couple of other things today, so I will definitely share with you what I put on my face. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I am back and I've got the rest of my makeup on. Let me share with you real quick what I've got on the rest of my face. For my bronzer, I used the Peri Para bronzer that I've been using quite a bit lately. I got this from Yes Style. So today for my blush, I decided to go with the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blush in the color Blurred Buff. And that's a lot of B's, and if I got that out in a couple of tries, that's a red letter day. For my highlighter, I went in with the High Glass Illuminating powder, and this is kind of a cream to powder thing this is from NYX, and I like this. I don't use it super often, but it's one of those foundations that's pretty easy to build up to the desired level of glow that you are looking for. For my lips, I lined with about 18 different things because I couldn't decide what I was doing, and I went in with the shade Organza from L'Oreal, and this is a new color for me and a new color in general, and it's kind of a frosty color. I don't love it, but you know, that's what I got on today. So for the eyeshadows, I'm already seeing some like creasing. I don't know if it's creasing or if you would classify it more as a kind of cracking, but right in that fold in my eyelid, and hopefully, let me zoom in, but hopefully you can see kind of what's going on right there. And it doesn't, yeah, it's doing it on this side too. You have to remember that I did put a couple of layers of the liquid multichrome on, and I also went over it with 2 different shadows. So I got a lot of crap on my eyes. And that may be part of the reason that I'm seeing this, because I did prime, and I primed with a good primer. At least historically it's worked out well for me. So it might be just that it's too much of a good thing. I'm gonna leave it the way that it is and see how it kind of wears throughout the day, if it happens more or if it's just kind of that initial thing. But it's not the kind of thing that I expect to happen right away. And I mean, I've only had my makeup on for, I don't know, half an hour or so, my eye makeup, and so I'm a little surprised to see that from these, but I'm gonna keep playing with them. And you know, if this look just totally goes to shit, maybe I'll do another look and just kind of insert some footage or a little, I don't know, side note kind of thing for you after I get this done. For now, as far as colors go and stuff, I liked all of the things that I used today. I appreciate the little bit of sparkle that the Galaxy Shadow gave me. I like the colors in the multichrome liquids. I think they're really nice, but of course it doesn't matter how pretty they are, you know, swatched on your hand or initially on your eye, if they tend to do something weird like crease or crack or something like that. You know, that's not ideal, of course. But I'm not gonna throw them out or anything like that. I'm gonna continue to play with them and see what I can discover as far as primers that I might use with them or application methods, something like that, just to see if that will make a difference in this kind of thing happening. But I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you so much for joining me today while I played with my new JD Glow eyeshadows that I got in the mail the other day. I had a lot of fun. We'll see how the situation goes here, but you know, I love playing with new stuff, and I love to have people join me for that. And so thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.